crackdown against a peaceful sit-in protest in Quetta in Balochistan. Pakistani forces resorted to indiscriminatory firing and heavy tear gas shelling against the Baloch demonstrators. Dozens of protesters, including women, have been arrested. That's not all. It is also being reported that 3 protesters have been shot dead and 7 are grievously injured. According to Baloch activists, a complete communication blackout has been imposed in Quetta, with mobile networks and internet access deliberately cut off. Additionally, it is being reported that Pakistani forces have launched raids in nearby areas, arbitrarily arresting more protesters and intimidating families. Baloch human rights leader Mahrang Baloch is among those who have been arrested. The visuals you see on your screens have been shared by her. She has highlighted that children too have been injured in this. We have with us my colleague Ajay Jandyal to provide more details about this. Ajay, what exactly are the details that are coming in terms of this crackdown that we are seeing by Pakistan on Baloch activists?
Yeah, that's very unfortunate that we're another peaceful protest of the Balochistan, people of Balochistan, and once again, firing, tear shelling, and innocent people of Balochistan have been beaten up by the Pakistani forces. That becomes the routine, and now in a fresh violence in which people were protesting, army opened fire even on the Balochistan people, and many of them they are injured, and even people are even sources are saying there are reports of some casualties as well. Mahrang Baloch has been once again picked up by the army, and number of other leaders, those who were leading the protest, they are disappeared from the location. That indicates that Pakistan's Pakistan's plan of arresting these people and then send him to the unknown location, and later they are killed or they are disappeared. That is what has happened with the people of Balochistan, and that's why people of Balochistan, they are continuously protesting against Pakistan and Pakistani forces, and many of them, they are fighting against the Pakistani forces, and many they have joined BLA as well, and which is basically leading front in the Balochistan and fighting for their fighting for their own country. So this is what exactly happens, and no one from the international community sees this thing in Pakistan, that how human rights violations are taking place.
We also have with us Major General Sudhakarji, defense expert, joining us on the telecast. Major General Sudhakarji, in terms of the crisis that we are seeing in Balochistan, what do you make of it? And especially when we're talking about enforced disappearances that have become a sort of a tool of oppression in Balochistan.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you for getting me to your show. As regards the question which you have raised, a very valid point. And enforced disappearance is a matter of very serious concern. Pakistan unfortunately doesn't realize that any kind of coming down on the people, the peaceful protest so heavily will unnecessarily compel the civil population to take recourse to violence. This is a vicious cycle which will keep happening, and enforced disappearances, extrajudicial killing, hijacking, etc., are actually leading to further isolating the Balochis, and this is unfortunately going to lead to a kind of a serious turn of event, and the situation may go from bad to ugly in near future. Last but not the least, what I would say is that people in Quetta, they have a high density force level of army present there in Quetta, and there is also a division or equivalent towards Gwadar side. They also have some resources deployed close to the Afghanistan border, towards Chaman post and all. So when the forces are being deployed, basically to quell the civil protest, they have to apply the teaching. Fundamental teaching in the military science is minimum force, minimum application of the military force when they are dealing with these people. So shoot at sight and use of very serious means of military methods is definitely going to add fuel to the fire, compel the Balochis to take recourse to very violent means. In near future, we may witness some very serious kind of a violent terrorist activities taking place, either by Tehrik Taliban or in collaboration between the Baloch groups of, splinter groups of different insurgent subgroups with Tehrik Taliban and Taliban of Afghanistan. I am also given to understand that there are splinter groups of ISIS who have also penetrated into Balochistan, and reportedly they may be also operating against the Pakistan armed forces if Pakistan doesn't mend its ways. Back to you, Ria.
All right, Major General Sudhakarji and Ajay Jandal, thank you so much for joining us on the telecast. Moving on, U.S. Department of Government Efficiency